Om Pavitro Pavitro Va Sarvastam Gatopiva Yasmarit Pundarikaksham Bhaya Abhyantara Suchihi Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. What was that mean anyway? Some of you may have not taken part in initiation yagya, Harinam Diksha, so a little explanation of what just happened and what we're about to do. And this ring back, if you could fix that, that'd be great. The preliminary that was just done was Achmana, sipping water for purification and chanting names of the Supreme Lord along with this important mantra, Om Apavitra Pavitro Va Sarvabhastam Gatopi Va Ya Smaret Pundarikaksham, by Smarat, by remembrance of the lotus-eyed Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can cross over all material circumstances of life. All fearful material circumstances of life are surpassed. Emphasis on the name or names of the Supreme Lord. So next, Sri Brahma Samhita. For further invoking auspiciousness, the auspicious mantras that are in the mature realization of Lord Brahma, which we discussed a little bit yesterday. We're going to discuss a little bit more this evening. Ishara Parama Krishna Satchit Ananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Chintamani Prakara Sadma Sukalpa Briksha Laksha Bratesa Surabir Abhipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrahma Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Venum Kanvantam Aravinda Dalaya Taksham Barhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Amaham Bhajami Alola Chandrakada Sadvana Malya Vankshi Ratnanganam Pranaya Keli Kalavilasam Shambam Tribanga Lalitam Niyata Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti Pashanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti Ananda chenmaya sat ujjvala vigrahasya Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Advaitam achutam anadam anantarupam Adyam purana purusham navayovanam cha Vedesha durlabam adurlabam atma bhaktau Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Pantastu koti shatavatsara sambragamyo Vayo ratapi manaso muni pungvanam Sopyasti yad papadasinya bhacincha tatve Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Eko prasaura chayatam jagadanda koti Yach chaktirasti jagadanda chayaya dantaha Andhantarasta paramanu chayantarastam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Yad Bhava Bhava Tadiyomana Jastataiva Samprapya Rupa Mahimasha Nayana Bhushaha Suktairya Beva Nigama Pratatai Suvanti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitabis Tabirya Eva Nijarupataya Kalabhihi Goloka Eva Nivisatya Kilatma Bhoto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santaksa Daivar Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achintu Ganasarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Ramadi Murtushakalani Amena Tishtan Nana Avatara Makarobo Vaneshu Kinto Krishnakshmayam Sambhavak Paramak Pumanyo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Yasya Prabha Prabhavato Jagadanda Koti Koti Svashesha Vasudhari Vibhoti Bhinnam Tad Brahma Nishkalamanantam Ashesha Bhutam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Maya Hiyasya Sakadandi Satani Sutte Trigunya Tadvashaya Veda Bhataya Mana Satvavalambi Parasatvam Vishuddha Sattvam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Ananda Chinmaya Rasamataya Manakso Yat Praninam Paliparam Smarutamupetia Leelayatenu Bhuvanani Jagat Yajasram Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Golokanamni Nijadamni Tale Chatasya Devi Maheshu Haridama Sukteshu Teshu Te Prabhava Nitya Vihitashyena Govindamadi Purusham Samaham Bhajami. Shristi Sati Palaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha Chayeva Yasya Bhuvanani Vibharti Durga Ichchadurupam Api Yasya Tatesa Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Kshiram Yatha Vidhi Vikar Vishesha Yogat Sanjayate Hitatak Pratagasti Hetoho Yaksham Bhutam Apitata Samupayati Karyat Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Abhyupetya Deepayateva Vritahetu Samana Dharma Yastadrik Eva Hitya Vishnutaya Vibhati Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Yat Karanarnava Jali Bhajati Smayoga Nidramananta Jagadanda Saroma Kopaha Adara Shakti Vavalamya Param Samurtim Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Yas Yaika Nishvatita Kala Matavalamya Jivanti Loma Vidaja Jagadanda Nataha Vishnur Mahansi Yasya Kalabhishesho Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Bhasvanyatangshma Sakaleshu Najesha Teja Sviyam Kiyat Prakadiyat Tadvitad Vadatra Brahmaya Esha Jagadanda Vedana Karta Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Yat Pala Pallava Yugam Vinidhaya Kumbha Dvandve Pranama Samaye Saganadi Rajaha Vinghan Vahankam Alam Asya Jagat Trayasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Agnir Mahidurun Ambavaruddha Shascha Kalastatat Mamanasita Jagat Trayani Yasmad Bhavanti Vibhavanti Vishanti Yangsha Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Yach Chakshu Esa Savitasa Kalagrahanam Raja Samasta Suramurti Sesha Tejaha Yasyagya Brahmati Samritakala Chakro Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Dharmo Tapapa Nichaya Shrutayasta Pangsi Brahmadi Kita Patagavadayascha Jivaha Yadatrama Prakata Prabhava Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yastvendra Gopam Atavendra Mahosva Karma Bandhana Ropa Palabhajanam Atanoti Karmadi Nirdahita Kintu Chabhakti Bhajam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yam Krodha Kama Saniyas Pranadi Viti Vatsalya Mohar Guru Gaurava Sevya Bhavai Sanchintya Tasha Shadashim Tanam Aparete Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Shri Akanta Kanta Parama Purushal Kapatarvo Druma Bhumis Chintamani Kanamayi Toyam Amritam Kata Gatnam Natyam Ganamam Apivangshi Priyasaki Chidanandam Jyoti Param Apitad Asvadyam Apicha Sa Yatra Chiradvi Shravati Surabhibhyasya Sumahan Nimeshad Yakyova Vrajati Nehi Yatrapi Samaya Vaje Shveta Dvipam Tamaham Iha Golokam Ityam Vedantaste Shantashati Virala Charakati Paye Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachit Ananda Vigraha Anadi Adi Govinda Purifying. The purpose is through transcendental sound, standard practice in any function like this, a yajna, reciting Vedic mantras for purification of the speaker, the hearer, and the whole atmosphere becomes spiritually benefited, spiritualized. Of course, the temple room in Gita Nagari is already like that, but it perpetuates the same. And on this, because we're in Gita Nagari, and because the theme for this retreat is Srimad Bhagavatam, the refuge for the sage of Kali. There's Srimad Bhagavatam on a nice display up here. I'd like to read a verse from Bhagavatam. There's many, many verses, many sections of the Bhagavatam that the spotlight goes to the importance of chanting of the holy name. The whole story of Ajamila, for example. The importance of chanting of the holy name, even unintentional or even in the category of abhas, so purifying. So purifying. There's many nice Puranic descriptions of the consequence of someone, by whatever the circumstance, and various Puranic descriptions of various circumstances, one calls the name of the Supreme Lord at the moment of death. And what happens if you don't call the name of the Supreme Lord for various circumstances? The Supreme Lord doesn't forget you, or the sacrifice, the nama yajna that has been performed in the course of one's life. Nonetheless, there's something very special about chanting at the closure of one's life. So here's a verse from Canto 3, Chapter 33, verse number 6, where focus is going to the hearing of the name of the personality of Godhead. To say nothing of the spiritual advancement of persons who see the Supreme Person face to face. Even a person born in a family of dog eaters immediately becomes eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices if he once utters the holy name of the Supreme Personality Godhead, or chants about him, hears about his pastimes, offers him obeisances, or even remembers him. Powerful. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Herein, the spiritual potency of chanting, hearing, and remembering the holy name of the Supreme Lord is greatly stressed. Rupa Goswami has discussed the sequence of sinful activities of the conditioned soul, and he has established in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that those who engage in devotional service become freed from the reactions of sinful activities. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. The Lord says, He takes charge of one who surrenders unto Him, and He makes him immune to all reactions to sinful activities. If, by chanting the holy name of the Supreme Lord, one becomes so swiftly cleared of all reactions to sinful activities, then what can be said of those persons who see Him face to face? Paragraph. Another consideration here is that persons who are purified by the process of chanting and hearing become immediately eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices. Generally, only a person who is born in a family of Brahmanas, who has been reformed by the 10 kinds of purificatory processes, samskaras in Sanskrit, and who is learned in Vedic literature is allowed to perform Vedic sacrifices. But here the word sadhyaha, or immediately, is used. And Sridhar Swami also remarks that one can immediately become eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices. A person born in a family of the low caste, which is accustomed to eat dogs, is so positioned due to his past sinful activities, but by chanting and hearing once in pureness, small qualifier, right? In pureness means no offense, offenseless chanting, distinct from abhas chanting, or in an offenseless manner, he is immediately relieved of the sinful reaction. Not only is he relieved of the sinful reaction, but he immediately achieves the results of all purificatory processes. Taking birth in the family of a Brahmana is certainly due to pious activities in one's past life, but still, a child who is born in a family of a Brahmana depends on his further reformation upon initiation into acceptance of the sacred thread and many other reformatory processes. But a person who chants the holy name of the Lord, even if born in a family of Chandalas, dog-eaters, does not need reformation. Simply by chanting Hare Krishna, he immediately becomes purified and becomes as good as the most learned Brahmana. Whew. Paragraph. Sridhar Swami especially remarks in this connection, Anena bhujatvam lakshate. Some caste Brahmanas remark that by chanting Hare Krishna, purification begins, it's italicized, begins. Of course, that depends on the individual process of chanting, but this remark of Sridhar Swami's is completely applicable if one chants the holy name of the Lord without offense. For he immediately becomes more than a Brahmana, as Sridhar Swami says, puja tvam. He immediately becomes respectable as a most learned Brahmana and can be allowed to perform Vedic sacrifices if, simply by chanting the holy name, one becomes sanctified instantly. Then one can be said of those persons who see the Supreme Lord face to face and who understand the descent of the Lord as Devahuti understands Kapila Dev. 2 more paragraphs. Usually, initiation depends on the bona fide spiritual master who directs the disciple. If he sees the disciple has become competent and purified by the process of chanting, he offers the sacred thread to the disciple, just so that he will be recognized as 100% equal with the Brahmana. This is confirmed also in the Hari Bhakti Vilas by Sanatana Goswami, quote, as base metal, like bell metal, can be changed into gold by a chemical process, any person can similarly be changed into a Brahmana by Diksha Vidhan, the initiation process. So now this is not speaking of Harinam Diksha, it's speaking of Gayatri Diksha. Last paragraph. It is sometimes remarked that by the chanting process one begins to purify himself and can take birth in his next life in a Brahmana family and then be reformed. But at the present moment, even those who are born in the best Brahmana families are not reformed, nor is there certainty that they are actually born of a Brahmana's father. Formerly, the Garbhadan reformatory system was prevalent. The world just ended. But at the present moment, there is no such Garbhadana or seed-giving ceremony under these circumstances. No one knows if a man is factually born of a Brahmana father. Whether one has acquired the qualification of a Brahmana depends on the judgment of the bona fide spiritual master. He bestows upon the disciple the position of a Brahmana by his own judgment. When one is accepted as a Brahmana in the sacred thread ceremony under the Pancharatrika system, then he is called Dvija, twice born. That is confirmed by Sanatana Goswami, Dvija Tvam Jayate. By the process of initiation by the spiritual master, a person accepted as a Brahmana in his purified state of chanting the holy name of the Lord. He then makes further progress to become a qualified Vaishnava, which means that the Brahminical qualification is already acquired. Now, the emphasis in this particular purport is emphasis upon Brahminical initiation or Gayatri mantras. And traditionally, that's all there was. There wasn't what specifically Bhaktisiddhanta established. And then Srila Prabhupada followed, and we follow which is in the first initiation, at least Harinam Diksha, initiation into the chanting of the holy name. It's not that it wasn't initiation into the chanting of the holy name before Bhaktisiddhanta. It was done, but it didn't bear the same significance, culturally and institutionally and scripturally. It was just a standard giving of the name to a young boy, perhaps by his father or by a brahmana. And then the further purification. So it was just made formalized during the time of Bhaktisiddhanta. And the understanding that Prabhupada passed on was this first initiation standard was more liberal, and the second initiation, or Gayatri Mantra initiation, was more conservative or strict or significant. Significant in the sense that it enabled one to worship the deity, or the perform a Vedic sacrifice, yajna, and so forth, perform Brahminical duties. So that's a distinction that we follow. What Prabhupada had us do is scripturally based. So purification through the chanting of the holy name, and of course, in a formalized way, Prabhupada established some standards. He made exceptions to those standards by his own discrimination. I mean, a nice example is Bhakti True Swami received first and second initiation at the same time. Srila Prabhupada received first and second initiation at the same time. There's a rule, there's exception to the rule, allowed by or based upon the discretion of the Acharya. So our founder Acharya made such exemption, and then there's the standard of the rule that we honor because he established it. And without exception, from the very early stages, the following of the four regular principles, along with chanting. Because the following of the four regular principles, according to the Srimad Bhagavatam, these are the pillars of sinful life. You know the section of the Bhagavatam when Maharaj Parikshit was traveling in his kingdom and he saw a Sudra breaking the legs of a bull with one leg remaining and smacking at the one leg remaining. There's this whole discussion of the four legs of Dharma, or the bull, are these four principles. And so these four principles establish fundamental sinless life, or say it conversely, violation of one of these four, or combination, is the foundation of sinful life. So within Bhagavad Gita, the entry into the process of yoga, bhakti yoga specifically, one has to become free from sin. So at least going forward, the principle of these four principles, essential, along with the process of chanting, which has the power to eradicate past misdeeds, past sins. It was in our discussion yesterday morning. From the four categories of abhadras or anarthas that arise in the heart. And one of them is caused by sin. And the anarthas that arise in the heart caused by sin are very quickly and efficiently, effectively eradicated by chanting. Even Namabhas chanting has that power. So all of you are following the regular principles, means going forward in time, without exception, the standard, the pillars of sinful life, it doesn't mean that there aren't other activities that are sinful, but those pillars will help you become free, anyone become free from all types of sinful activity. And then the chanting of the holy name. Further purification. Further these two things, cleansing and awakening, just as we've been hearing, according to the principles of Srimad Bhagavatam. The Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloki Bhaktir Bhavati. So bhakti arises, bhaktir bhavati, and the abhadras are removed progressively, gradually, by hearing Bhagavatam and chanting of the holy name, both. Not only one or only the other, but both. We do both. So then, by our process within ISKCON, someone becomes enthusiastic, committed, with some purification and proper guidance, knowledge from scriptural teachings, the necessity. It's not optional. The necessity. Abhigachchit. It's a necessity to take shelter of a spiritual master by the initiation process. So that's happening today. Congratulations. And the procedure that we were accustomed to follow is someone who's the someone? Bangsidhari. You got a microphone? Bangsidhari is going to say something about this nice devotee who you probably don't know. But he knows. So he's going to share something about this nice devotee.
Yeah. So she started Krishna consciousness.
Say her name.
Her name is Shravya Kanchi.
Where does she live?
She lives in Richmond. I mean, she's doing her PhD in Virginia Tech. I think it's Blacksburg. I just want to say that one thing, crowning quality and inspiring quality, is that she is very enthusiastic and very determined. She has her own challenges, like she's studying and she has a financial limitations and association, staying with some other prasadam and so on. But she is very determinedly keeping up. Even for this initiation, her professor gave her a challenge, your paper at risk, your paper, the college paper is at risk if you go away for this weekend. But she said, no, I have to go, and she came here. And yeah.
Whose supervisor professor said you can't go, and she came anyways.
Yeah.
You don't do that in academia. You don't stick your tongue out at the supervisor. Your PhD supervisor said don't go. He what?
She's making up. After going back, she's going to make it up. So that's her,
You made a deal with the man, huh? Oh, good. Okay.
That's her.
And your association, describe that a little bit. Cyber, virtual.
She started off when she was in India, but she lost the association. But when you went to Hyderabad, she got rekindled her devotion, and after coming here, it's mostly virtual association.
Mostly virtual.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty unique. She lives in Virginia, The sponsorship for initiation came from Naperville, Illinois, and she's getting initiated in Gitanagari. She's very accommodating. And others that understand her nature are also accommodating because she's very enthusiastic and very committed, and she's going to do her makeup for her PhD thesis. Hopefully that you don't get some blowback from that. You'll try. I mean, I don't know if... I didn't do a PhD, but I know from people that do PhD, you salute to the flag. And if the PhD supervisor says X, it's X. You don't say it's Y, it's X. It's just like that. I mean, different personalities are different, but generally speaking, that's the system. I'm surprised. I'm amazed. You are quite determined. Okay, so the next procedure is you're going to take vows. She's ready. She's jumping. You come to make a path for her to come before Prabhupada. Okay. Lifelong vows, 3. On your beads, you'll chant how many rounds every day for the rest of your life?
Minimum 60 rounds.
She's clear. And the 4 rules that you'll follow for the rest of your life?
No meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, and no gambling.
She's got a strong voice, too. Okay, and as you've been doing, you'll continue. Make your best effort to follow carefully Srila Prabhupada's teachings for the rest of your life. Yes. Audible. Not just nod your head. Yes. Okay, there we go. Your initiated name is Sadhvi Devi Dasi. Sadhvi is a name of the consort of the Supreme Lord. Lakshmi unto Narayan, Sita unto Ram, Radha unto Krishna. Take your pick. Perfectly chaste. And many nice leelas in all of these circumstances about the perfectly chaste. So you can appreciate your name in that way. Perfectly chaste. To the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that's the perfectly chaste. So now we're going to perform the yajna. You ready? Okay. He's the one, not you. Nama Om
Vishnupadaya
Vishnupadaya Krishnapestaya Bhutale Srimate
Romapada Swami Iti Namine Swaha Swaha Swaha
Om Pavitra Pavitrova Sarvavastam Gatopiva Yasmaret Pundarikaksham Sabhaya Abhyantara Suchihi Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale, Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pastyacha Desatarine Swaha Swaha Swaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati iti namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Dayataya Kripabdhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayane Prabhave Namaha Madhuryojvara Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostate Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddha Apasiddhanta Dvanta Harine Swaha Swaha Swaha. Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshad Vairagya Murtaye Vipralamba Prasambode Padambo Jayate Namaha Swaha Swaha Swaha. Namo Bhaktivinodaya Satchit Anandanamine Gaura Shakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Swaha Swaha Swaha. Gaura Virbhava Bhumestvam Nirdishta Sajjana Priyaha Vaishnava Sarva Bhauma Shri Jagannathaya Te Namaha Swaha Swaha Swaha. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhobhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Swaha Swaha Swaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratushe Namaha Swaha Swaha Swaha. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhakdavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Swaha Swaha Swaha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Saha 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 Jayatam Surato Pangor Mama Manda Mater Gati Matsarvasvapadam Bhojo Radha Madana Mohano Saha 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 Divyad Vindaranya Kalpadrumadaha Srimad Ratnagara Singhasanasto Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devo Presthalibhi Sevyamano Smarami Swaha 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 Shriman Rasa Rasarambhi Vangshi Vatatastitaha Karshan Venu Swanayar Gopir Gopinatha Shriyestunaha Swaha 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 Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Saha 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 Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Swaha 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, now comes a little trick. Stand up with the banana in your hand, and the last mantra at the end, very gently placed after the mantra is chanted, gently place your banana into the fire. Hold like this. Very good. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Swaha 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 Rati Rati. Microphone.
Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama